This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets. Russia's diesel and gas oil shipments to Turkey hit a record high in February as traders rerouted cargoes after a European Union ban on Russian oil products, according to traders and Refinitiv data. A full EU embargo on Russian oil products went into effect on February 5, sending Russian diesel cargoes to Africa and Asia instead of Europe and boosting ship-to-ship (STS) loadings. February diesel and gas oil exports to Turkey could reach a record high of 1 million ton, according to Refinitiv shipping data and Reuters calculations.
Oil prices climbed more than 1% on Friday after better-than-expected U.S. employment data, though both benchmarks fell more than 3% on the week on U.S. interest rate hike jitters. Brent rose $1.19, or 1.5%, to $82.78 a barrel. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude, WTI, was up 96 cents, or 1.3%, at $76.68. Expectations of further rate hikes in the world's largest economy and in Europe have clouded the global growth outlook and driven both crude benchmarks down this week.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
Corporations and investors have been pouring money into renewable energy projects, seeing an opportunity to grasp the holy grail of socially conscious investing. Do good while doing well. But sharply higher interest rates have further stressed a model strained by soaring prices for steel and silicon, vital for wind turbines and solar panels. Higher costs have buyers and sellers of renewable power projects recalculating potential returns, hampering fundraising and mergers and acquisitions. Manda.
Iran's oil exports have reached their highest level since the reimposition of U.S. sanctions in 2018, the country's oil minister Javad Ogh said on Sunday, according to the semi-official Tasnim news agency. Following the United States' exit from a 2015 nuclear deal and its reimposition of sanctions on Tehran in 2018, Iranian oil exports and revenues have taken a significant hit as few countries, with the notable exception of China, continue to purchase Iranian crude. The oil minister said that 83 million more oil barrels in the current year starting the 21st of March 2022 were exported compared to the previous Iranian year running March 2021-2022.
Next, we have the top news in metal markets.
Amid trade frictions between the United States and the European Union, President Joe Biden and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen agreed on Friday that the two sides would launch talks on critical minerals used for electric vehicles. Biden and von der Leyen met at the White House against a backdrop of European complaints that clean energy subsidies in the U.S. Inflation Reduction Act, IRA, and others will divert investment away from Europe and hurt their economies. The war in Ukraine was also a major agenda item. Biden's IRA, a $430 billion law that offers massive subsidies for U.S.-made products and is aimed at addressing the climate crisis and promoting renewable energy, has prompted European anger. EU officials say allies should stick together and form a common front against bigger threats from China.
Canada on Friday banned the import of all Russian aluminum and steel products in a move that Ottawa said was aimed at denying Moscow the ability to fund its war against Ukraine. Ukraine can and must win this war. We continue to do everything we can to cut off or limit the revenue used to fund Putin's illegal and barbaric invasion of Ukraine, Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland said in a statement. The ban covers both finished and unfinished products, and would impact the import of products such as aluminum sheets, aluminum containers as well as steel tubes and pipes, according to the statement. We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector. The Brazilian and Australian governments have opened talks aimed at forging new agricultural trade agreements after representatives of both countries met this week, the Brazilian Agriculture Ministry said in a statement on Friday. While Brazil aims to export pork to Australia, the South American country could start importing Australian wheat and barley under a potential future pact, the statement said. Brazil is a net wheat importer and the world's fourth biggest pork exporter, being home to some of the world's largest meat packers.
That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to Trade Flow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.